Hey, welcome to the Pharmacy Residency Podcast, a member of the Pharmacy Podcast Network. We were in TLDR Pharmacy's email this morning, so if you are a subscriber to TLDR Pharmacy, great. If not, I do recommend that you go to tldrpharmacy.com. For those of you that don't know, TLDR stands for Too Long Didn't Read, and that's kind of the premise behind what they're doing, which is they're going to take things that are very complicated, make them simple, very digestible, and very entertaining. So this comes from November 2nd, 2020. Brandon Dyson did an How to Ace Your Online Job or Residency interview. And in the course, the Rockstar Residency course, you can hear us in an interview where we talked about the things and how we would answer the questions and kind of a back and forth. And it eventually led to us writing that book. But I want to go through the things that he talks about in the blog post and the tips that he gives, and then I want to just tell you a little bit about confidence and anxiety. So especially for those of you that are introverts that are absolutely dreading the interview, wondering why is it that you even need to interview me? Look, you have my credentials. Don't you think that I should be a resident based on those credentials? But what they want with an interview is really they're just trying to get to know you, see if you're one of them, that you're going to be friends with them, or at least good colleagues, and kind of get those intangibles out. So once you get that interview, all bets are off because you are now qualified. It's just you against your group. Now, what I want to do is go through this blog post and give my own spin on some of the recommendations he gives, but also to let you know that TLDR Pharmacy is around. So let's start with number one, dress professionally and turn your darn phone off. So when you talk about dressing professionally, what you want to do is make sure that that professional dress comes up well in your interview. So downstairs, we have a room that is green, and I know that brings probably the wrong connotation. Where it's like, oh, it looks gross. It does, and it looks great. I mean, it was meant to be a playroom. However, if you try to turn on a non-Mac, a regular webcam, it actually takes it as a green screen. So I can't use it to talk and to do any of the teaching. I have to use the Mac. So in addition to dressing professionally, make sure that your surroundings are professional, that it looks like you should be in a residency, or maybe, I mean, you don't have to have the books behind you or, you know, the staff behind you, whatever. But again, dress professionally, make sure your environment looks professional. Be mindful of nervous tics. Always record yourself and watch it. I know it's painful. I know you don't want to do it. But there are things that you can keep yourself from doing and that can help you get through the interview. So one of the things is I hear all the time is, well, if you're happy, let your face know. And you say, well, I'm not mad at you. I'm just upset about something this morning. So when you say I'm happy to do something, you're thinking about something else and your face is showing that disagreement. Is your face showing excitement or is your face showing disagreement? So the nervous tics, it's more about the smile. Are you excited? And are you finding the things that they're asking exciting to answer? And you've got a lot of energy in your voice and all of those things. Okay. Number three, test your internet connection. Can't stress this enough. I have two sets of backups. So if I can't use the Wi-Fi, then I will use the hardwired blue line. And if I can't use the blue line, I actually have a place that I can go and start the class. So I'm like, okay, 5 minutes, I'll be back. I've got another place. And so I don't let any class go by because of some internet connection in my own house. I make sure that I have someplace else just in case. Okay. He recommends a place like Speed Test to test your connection. Number four, find a good interview spot. So my place is actually really great for teaching if I'm in my basement while my children are not home. If they're home, however, The floor above me is the living room, which means that anytime they do a backflip, a cartwheel, or fall, or anything like that, it creates this sonic boom. Okay? However, if I go to the other part of the basement, it's actually pretty quiet. Now, I get a little more HVAC, that is, I hear the air conditioner turn on and off, but it's not those just jarring booms. My office at work is actually a very poor place for me to do that as well, because we have an intake person right in front of me, and so it's kind of the command center for CNA nursing, and so they're talking and getting everything done, and so it's kind of like trying to have a class while a meeting is going on, and so it's just not a good place. However, down the hall is a great conference room that I've shown a couple of times. There's this hawk that likes to come up there. It's on the 3rd floor. And that is a really nice quiet place. Now, I don't have 2 screens, but it's a great place if I want to go. So I usually actually go to work before people get there and after if I'm trying to record something. So finding a good interview spot ahead of time, making sure that that interview spot at the time you're going to do the interview is good. Use headphones or earbuds. It seems a little bit weird, and it seems like I'm going to look like I'm listening to something else while they're talking to me, but it's perfectly acceptable now to hear that. And he has a great picture of earbuds dangling versus the earbud tuck, where you actually tuck them into your shirt so it doesn't look so bad. And that takes the focus away. So one of the movies I remembered, gosh, it was just a little while ago that I saw it. And it says, why do you wear a bow tie? Well, rather than the attention going to my privates, I would prefer that it goes to my ears, or something to that effect. And so when you see kind of the way that the earbuds pulled together creates an arrow towards the bottom of the screen, your eye can't help but going to the bottom of the screen instead of to your face. However, if you tuck them in your shirt or your blouse or whatever, then you don't really see them at all, or you kind of get lost in them. Put your camera at eye level. So whether you have a large head, a small head, you can make it so that your head looks perfectly right. So you want to make sure that it looks like it's in the middle of the screen. So if you've ever taken a film class, it's a third, a third, a third. You want to be in the middle third this way, and this middle third that way. So again, it should be bullseye marks the spot, and then that background is phenomenal with all of those books. Okay, number 7, light yourself like you're in Hollywood. So lighting is huge. You don't need key lights, and I've taken film classes, and we've lit up the interviewer, and it takes a lot of work. But you can make sure that the lighting, wherever it is, comes in really well. And for example, my downstairs has excellent window, excellent lighting, but upstairs, it depends on where I am. It could be too bright, too dark, depends on the day. But make sure that you've tested the lighting to make sure it works well. Okay. Be familiar with the tools. So whether you're going to be using Zoom or WebEx, ask them which one they're going to use. That way you know ahead of time to make sure that your platform works. The other thing is number 9, which is prepare for technical glitches and failures. Don't freak out that you didn't get the interview. They've already got some makeup interviews set up. But what you want to do is show how calm under pressure you are. Say, oh man, it just this one didn't work out. I really do want to be part of your residency site. And you can kind of go on from there. Okay. So when we kind of talk about further advice, the one thing I want to tell you, especially if you're someone that's prone to anxiety, is that the advice to just calm down is terrible advice. The advice you want is that you should channel that energy into something. So what I prefer, and this is especially easy with the group interviews, is to listen to what the other people are saying and interject those things. Take the opportunity in the breaks to start thinking about, well, how do the answers that I'm going to put in match to them? So the most important thing that I think most people are going to get wrong, because in a 15-minute interview, you literally have between 1.5 and 2 minutes to make your point with 5 questions, is to attach whatever it is you want to say to what they offer. My strength is in hypertension clinic. I know that 2 of your sites are currently doing a project on hypertension clinic. My strength has to do with COVID immunizations. I understand that you guys are leading the way with not only COVID testing but COVID immunizations. Every time you say an answer, make sure that you bring it back to them. So, well, hopefully you got TLDR's email this morning. If not, certainly come by to residency.teachable.com. I'll put it up here real quick. Residency.teachable.com. And it's the Rockstar Residency Interview Prep Course. As soon as you sign up, I'll send you an email asking you to contact me as soon as you get your first interview, so I can kind of talk you through some of the things that you'll need to think about. And then also give you the book that comes with it. So I will provide you with an ebook copy of our 100 Strong Residency Questions, Answers, and Rationales if you don't already have it. I'm happy to give that to you. And of course, if you don't interview and you don't match, no worries. Give your money back. I'm so confident that the advice that we've put together is going to help you and get you through there. But the other thing is that I don't want to take anything from someone if what I did didn't work, and confident in it. But anyway, all right. So questions, TonyThePharmacist@gmail.com.